Okay, so the things you will need is an eyebrow stencil. I use a full-sized one and I got mine from Gorgeous Cosmetics. You can get them really cheap on eBay though. And then I use this sort of hoof-looking brush that has a flat top to push the product into the front of my eyebrows when I'm using the stencil. And then this small sort of dense angled brush. It doesn't have much movement, it's quite stiff. And then just an eyebrow comb just to brush through my hairs before and after doing my eyebrows. Okay, so the first step, you just take your eyebrow comb and then just brush through your eyebrow hairs to make sure they're sitting all nice and neatly together and there's no sort of eyebrow hairs sticking up anywhere. I then take my eyebrow stencil and I line it up with my eyebrow, ensuring that it's sort of right in place with where my hairs are, because you don't want to sort of, overfill them and make them look too big or anything. And then I just use my Inglot brow powder, and I use sort of like the blonde color, so the color in the middle, through the inner part of my eyebrow. And when I'm using the stencil, I don't use the full stencil for my whole eyebrow. You'll see that I just use the very beginning of it just to get the nice round shape in the inner part of my eyebrow, and then I just freehand the rest with an angled brush. Okay, so after I'm happy with the color that I have in the inner part of my eyebrow, I remove the stencil and then just brush through my eyebrow hairs again with my eyebrow comb. Okay, so now I'm taking the second darkest color out of my Inglot eyebrow palette and sort of taking the other one that I used before as well, but this one first, and then just my little angled brush, and I'm going to fill in the remainder of my eyebrow. So I just pretty much start anywhere and then just make sure that I extend the tail of my brow, make sure that they're all filled in nicely, that there's no sort of, spacey areas, and that everything looks nice and even. Okay, so you might be able to see that when I'm doing my eyebrows, I have my other hand that I'm not using resting against my temple, and that way I can rest the hand that I'm using on that one, so then my hand's not as shaky and everything's nice and straight. Okay, so I thought I'd let everybody know as well how I maintain my eyebrows. So what I use is just, again, like the little comb, and what I do with that is just brush the hairs up, mainly just in this inner section here, and anything that comes over the top of the line where my eyebrow is filled in, I trim just with a little pair of like nail cutting scissors. So yeah, that just makes sure that past the top of this line I have no hairs that are sticking up that are all over the place, and it just makes them look a little bit tidy. And then I either use wax or just tweezers to maintain all of the area around here, through like the monobrow area, and then also like at the top of my eyebrows. The only hair I want around this area is my eyebrows, so I always make sure that I get rid of the hairs all around here, and then like all of the ones that can grow down in this area as well, which just makes my eyebrows look really clean and really done, and then when they're filled in they ultimately like look a little bit neater. So yeah, that's all I do to maintain my eyebrows, and I really hope you guys learned something from this tutorial. Bye!